My name is Rory Houlihan. I ran for U.S. Senate last spring, 2016, to stop the ticking time bomb so I could put the economy on track for a bright new day instead of all things ending. Well, I lost the election, not running, but the ticking time bombs are still here, if not more so. Let me educate you on the ticking time bombs and give you the rest of the story. Part 20C. The AAM is a poison pill against Christian society. At St. Norbert's, I was fortunate to read much of the Catholic Church's early history. The Norbertines are the church historians. Did you know that approximately three-quarters of the martyrs were women? About half of them were young women. Do you know that approximately two-thirds of the saints are women? Did you know that the first bishop of Ireland was a woman? St. Bridget. Yes, nothing in Scripture keeps women from being priests and bishops. Too bad that the Irish Church lost the Bones contest. Women have supported and been an important part of Christianity and the Christian Church from the very start. And to this day, anyone who attends church knows how important the role of the old queens are to the church. They are magnificent. But if we are to continue the Christian church, we can't follow the Alcon's anti-young woman, baby killer, deadbeat campaign. We need to get rid of the judging eyes and offer young women instead helping hands. Young women literally create our society and our church. When we alienate young women by listening to those Alcon AA extreme baby killer deadbeat message, we deny young women of the wisdom and help of the old queens and break an over 2,000-year Christian tradition of old queens instilling to generation after generation of Christian values by their deeds and the words. When we alienate young women from the Christian church, we do Antichrist, Russian-born Ayn Rand's bidding. I have eyes to see and ears to hear. I have seen Randians turn the RNC symbol from a godly symbol with stars pointing up to heaven to a demonic symbol with stars pointing down to hell. I have seen the Alcons anti-quote abortionist smiles as they proclaim they are anti-abortionists, knowing that the abortion issue is a poison pill to the Christian faith. As I have stated, I believe that Jesus is coming. I do not want Jesus to look me into the eyes and ask, "Do you not have eyes to see and ears to hear? Yet you stood by those who drove the flock from me." I don't know who you are. Just a thought, folks. I ran for U.S. Senate in 2016 to stop the ticking time bombs. And there are no greater ticking time bomb than that which is facing the Christian community today because of the narrow focus anti-abortion, pro-birth only movement. The more we push this narrow agenda, the more we drive young women and their families from our churches. The more we allow the anti-Christian Randian rich economic agenda to be passed by their surrogates in government, the more we become their 24-karat gold-plated patsies. Understand this. The Roman rich used us Christians as scapegoats. We were killed by the thousands, I believe over 10,000. And there is nothing to stop those that follow Russian-born, atheist, anti-Christ Ayn Rand's very, very rich libertarians, who most likely are low or no OTs, and have no moral restraints from turning on us Christians and making us their gold-plated patsies and setting folks against us just like the Roman rich did. They have been working towards that moment since 1974, using us as their scapegoats, and destroying the Christianity is their goal. Too narrow is to take. The Randy and Alcon's goal is to take the minds and souls of our people. If we Christians continue following, and more importantly, supporting their pro-birth only more and more extreme anti-young woman policies, their pro-slavery policies, their pro-authoritarian policies, their rape of our business community policies, their robbery of our public resources and financing policies, where do you think all this is going? All things ending, folks. I had my butt kicked. I'm running wasn't a volunteering, but a drafting. But if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it grand. I am going to do it to the best of my abilities. I was the only senatorial candidate to go to the Tea Party invite in Louisville. Rand Paul didn't come. I came. Quite honestly, I saw a lot of disenfranchised folks who were hurting. I didn't do this for the votes. They weren't Democrats. I know that. I came there to listen to them and warn them. I was promised, since I was the only senatorial candidate there, I would be given 15 minutes to talk. I was cut off short in 2 minutes. I guess they didn't want to hear the truth. They have a YouTube of my speech. They didn't want to hear that all recessions start with the poor and end with the poor, that only periodic increases in the minimum wage, as Matthew 20 alludes to, is the only way to get rid of poverty and gets our economy off the boom-bust business cycle of recession after recession. I started to explain why the returning vets didn't get the help that they needed from the VA. I didn't want vets killing themselves. Did you know that Barack Obama didn't write the bill? Hal Rogers did. The guy who writes the contract controls all the terms of the contract. And the guy who signs the contract just makes the decision whether he can live with the terms or not. The same goes with bills. When I started explaining what was going on in HR 933, I was cut off. I guess they didn't want to hear who and where the corruption was coming from. They didn't want to know the rest of the story. Well, the same goes with us Christians. You cannot listen, follow, and support folks who have the goal of destroying our Christian society and be a Christian. You may be disenfranchised from the Democratic Party. I understand, but I see lots of lions waiting for us, thanks to the Randy and Alcon Republicans. If you are waiting for that rapture bus coming for you, I wouldn't plan for this. Scripture says, you will be beating on my door, and I will say, I don't know you. Can you see how the Randy and Alcon pro-birth only, pro-enslavement, AA movement, extreme anti-young woman actions set us up? You don't deserve what is coming. I know that. You are good people. I know this. There is a time to change this future, but the time is running out. We earned that rapture seat. The Pharisees were good folks too, but they killed Jesus Christ. If we become the Pharisees, then are we with Jesus? No. Are we acting like the Pharisees today? Have we become the folks who killed Jesus? What did the Romans do to them? The Romans just didn't kill them. The Romans gutted them, enslaved them, sent them to the four corners of their empire to destroy the Jewish faith. Do you expect anything else from these Alcons? With us Christians? I see the lions coming, and they aren't far off. I promise to take point and not to take a back seat, to take on the greed and the graft, to take out the corrupt and the corruption. That means not running from the ticking time bomb of the abortion issue, good, bad, or indifferent. End of part 20C. The AAM is a poison pill against Christian society. You have a good and blessed day. Bye.